Hi, my name is Nicholas Lopez. I'm a communication major here at UTSA. I'm looking forward to specifying in public relations and even minoring in sociology. I like to begin my hero story when I was 6 years old. As a kid, I've always been fond of sharks. To this day, they're still my favorite animal, probably from watching too much Shark Week. And as a kid, I've always wanted to find a way to get up close with these animals, learn more about them, and see what they're really like in their natural homes. So over the years, marine biology became an interest of mine, and further down the road, it would even develop into a passion. Fast forward to high school. I went to a magnet school here in Texas. It's called Communication Arts High School, and as the name implies, it specifies in different ways of communication, how to spread your messages, whether it's like giving oral presentations, developing film, or using certain computer programs such as like Adobe Workshop and Adobe Photoshop to kind of develop a certain media or a certain way to send your message to the public. In my high school career, towards senior year, I got involved in a mentorship program. Basically, I had the opportunity to shadow an animal trainer at SeaWorld. She mainly trained dolphins, not sharks, unfortunately, but I still got to learn so much about marine biology in general and what it's like to take that interest and turn it into a career. And being up close with, just dolphins, which most people do when they go to SeaWorld, they go to the Dolphin Cove, but seeing them, basically behind the scenes, it's a pretty good feeling just to watch them do what they do and how they interact with each other. And the fact that people have made a living off of doing that, it was so fascinating to me. Now, fast forward to college. Initially, I began my college career as a pre-bio major. UTSA doesn't offer a marine biology program, unfortunately, although it is reasonable. And so I figured, how about I just start off with a biology degree? And that way, if marine biology doesn't work out, I have a degree that's more broad and can develop into a different type of career. And also just to give me a basic foundations of biology, and for me to learn how biology just works in general, how life works in general. Yet I didn't fully comprehend how difficult college would be in a certain aspect. In high school, I was very laid back. I didn't make terrible grades, but I wasn't an A+ student or A honor roll student. And I was very used to the lax nature and just kind of didn't take everything too seriously. And so in college, that really put a dent into my GPA. When I finished my first semester, I had a 1.9 GPA, which is terrible. And so that just it put a dent into my self-confidence at first. But like most challenges, you just gotta pick yourself up and then just work to make yourself better. But the problem with that was I didn't really comprehend how difficult being a biology major was. When I started taking all these different math courses and all these biology courses, I started to get a little nervous about my future plans, because although I really love sharks and would love to have the opportunity just to even get close to one, me struggling with these science and math courses made me contemplate whether or not I would even be a good marine biologist, or if I could really see myself doing all the science and math aspects of being a marine biologist over and over, and have a year's, a long time career of doing that. And so at that moment, after I barely passed my biology class, I decided to rethink of what I wanted to do. What are some other things that I could do? What do I see myself doing other than marine biology? So I looked back at my time in high school, and I looked back at all the experience and knowledge I learned about communication, and I figured that that was probably the route to go down. And the more I think about it, the more I get excited about being a communication major, because I do find it interesting how humans communicate to each other. I find it interesting that there are so many aspects of communications that on a daily basis kind of go unnoticed, or people don't really think about, such as expectancy violation theory, and just different theories in general about communication. And so at that moment I decided I wanted to be a communication major. Now, I still have an interest in sharks, as I've mentioned before, and I still hope to find a way to incorporate them into a career or into my life. And as a kid, I've been somewhat of an activist for sharks. I'm totally against shark finning, which, for those who don't know, is a process of catching a shark, cutting off its fins, and then throwing it back into the water where it slowly dies. Very depressing, but it's something that's worth knowing, because every year millions of sharks die because of this. And so I'd like to go into public relations, because I want to find a way to lobby and campaign against shark finning. Now, in the United States, it's not too common, but in other parts of the world, it happens. And so I want to find a way to kind of expand my public relation knowledge and kind of get everyone aware of what is going on. So that's what I really like about taking this course, or what I'm hoping to learn about, is the communication theories and how to incorporate them in daily lives, how to become a better public speaker and how to communicate more effectively, and to just think of the best way to put this. Basically, to just, how can I incorporate public relations into this course? What can I learn about making videos and making discussion blogs and just commenting on how people communicate, and what people leave behind for me to learn, and trying to use that feedback into making me a better public relations agent.